Okie dokie. And should be live on here. Sorry it's a little bit later than I anticipated. I had hoped to get on here at about 7 o'clock, but I had some issues in the camera department. So I forgot whenever I said I was going to try and stream tonight, I had taken my desktop into my bedroom and I was using it to play Cyberpunk 2077 on my TV in my room. So I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and stream. And then I was like, oh, dang it, I left my computer in my room. So then I brought my computer out to the office so I could fire it up and start streaming. And then I turned the camera on and the camera was dead from whenever I used it for the live stream last time. So then I had to get the dummy battery hooked up, and then it was just a giant pain in the rear end. And today's weather is not working out well for real life. It has rained here probably nonstop since last night. There was like a little bit of a break. Finally was able to let the dogs go out, and I had to go grocery shopping. So all that put together kind of put me behind schedule, but that's why the title is Better Late Than Never. But thank you for everybody who is here so far. Of course, it's Sunday night, so we're on the eve of everybody going back to work tomorrow, so that's kind of sucks. But hopefully you'll have wonderful Mondays when you go back to work. Drink lots of coffee. Hamazan, do I listen to Eminem? I have listened to some Eminem songs in the past. I can't say that I listen to him routinely. Not the biggest fan of music with profanity in it, so I can't really say I listen to a lot of Eminem, no. But I'm familiar with some of his music. And thanks for stopping by tonight. Darren Anderson, hello. Thank you for stopping by. I look like a new face. I don't remember seeing you in the chat before, but thanks for being here. Tech for Your Needs, hello, good sir. Happy to see you here on Sunday night. Hopefully you all had a fantastic week, and hopefully you've done most of your shopping already, because we're on the cusp of Christmas. And if you're celebrating right now, it's Hanukkah. So there's a lot of stuff going on, lots of holiday season stuff going on in December. But hopefully you're all doing well. Omar, hey, thanks for stopping in tonight. Ronald, well, Darren, thank you. I'm glad to have you here on the channel. Thank you for your support. Little gesture, hey, I'm glad that you made it as well. Awesome possum, cheers. Cheers to you as well, Mr. G. Can we get a Spotify playlist from you? Sure. Let me go to Spotify real quick. I've never shared a Spotify playlist with anyone before, so I probably listen to a mixed bag of music compared to what some people listen to, especially since I'm like on the verge of 37 years old. I will share with you my top songs of 2020, and y'all can, listen to that, I guess, if you want to see that. I listen to a lot of different stuff, though. I have a varied list of different music that I listen to. But sure, yeah, I'll share that. I'll have to go in there and get it. I do have a lot of playlists, so I listen to lots of different types of things. Let me try and get back here. How do I share this? Share. Okay, so lots of talking going on tonight. Let me see. Psych Techie. Hey, greetings from Japan. Japan is a great place. I hope to go back there and visit again one day. I went there in 2004 for a week, and I enjoyed it. I'd like to go back again. Your name is Lewis. Cool, nice to meet you, Lewis. What am I doing for Christmas? Well, probably gonna open some presents. I don't really have a whole lot of crazy stuff going on. What do I look like without a beard? Yeah, that's a good question. I will have to see if I can find a picture to share with you guys, because if any of you, of course some of you watched the live shows and things before, but I spent 16 and a half years in the military, so just when I got out of the military, I just stopped shaving. And actually, I trimmed this today, so I trimmed like half of it off. I'll let it grow back out again some, but I'll have to try and find a picture so you guys can see what I used to look like when I didn't have all this manly, good-looking facial hair. Yeah, so if y'all want to see some of the top songs that I listened to in 2020, go ahead and check that out. Darren Anderson. Have I been to Oklahoma City before? Yes, I have. So I was in Oklahoma City for a week. I want to say in the year 2007. Yeah, so back when I was in the military, I went to a big like Air National Guard conference convention thing that was a week long, and I was there in Oklahoma City. Great, love that place, Brick City. Lots of good places to eat there. I don't know if it's still there, but I ate at the spaghetti warehouse that's there. I stayed at the nice hotel down there. It's a really cool little town. I like it. Yeah, there may be pictures of me without. There may be pictures of me on my Instagram without having facial hair. You would have to look. And if you want to scour through my Instagram, I'll put that here. There we go. So you can check that out. Let me see. Wiley. We all know you listen to... Yeah, I actually don't... I do like Celine Dion, but I don't typically sit around and listen to her music. If I hear one of the songs on the radio, I mean, it's perfectly good. But yeah, you'll have my Spotify list there. A lot of stuff's older. I don't listen to a lot of more recent music. I love 80s music, so 80s stuff is great. Excuse me. But yeah, crazy week, crazy weather. Hopefully y'all are all staying warm. My best friend just recently moved to Arkansas, and he was sending me messages earlier how they got like 3, 4, 5 inches of snow already this afternoon or evening. And it dropped from like 65 here today, rained all day long, and now it's going to be in like the 30s or 40s tonight down in Houston. So make sure you stay warm and stay safe and all that good stuff. Yeah, let me see if I can fix... I don't think I can make that go away, and I'm hesitant to press a button on here. So normally I would be more adventurous with pressing the buttons on the camera, but I have an issue right now with the camera because the battery's not in it. I'm using what's called a dummy battery. So basically it looks like the battery, and it has a cable that goes into it, and then plugs into a USB, and that's what's keeping the camera powered right now since the battery was dead. So I pressed the focus button a minute ago on there, and it like shut the video feed off, and then I had to turn it off and turn it back on. So I think we're just gonna have to roll with the little menu button thing over there tonight. But yeah, anyway, so lots going on this week. I've got videos rolling out starting tomorrow. I didn't do one today. I think today is probably the first time I have not put out a brand new video in probably like 3 weeks. It's very rare that I take a day off from making videos, but I was tired, spent some time with the family, went out to go eat for one of my kids' birthdays today, and I spent several hours yesterday playing Cyberpunk 2077, and I gotta say, I like it quite a bit. I was a little on the fence about it because some people had kind of compared it to Grand Theft Auto. And I'm not the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan. Like, I played the original one, like, way back in the day. Grand Theft Auto 1, Grand Theft Auto 2. And then when they moved it to the whole 3D third-person thing, like, well, I mean, of course it was third-person before, but it was more overhead. I just never really liked Grand Theft Auto 3 or 4, or I guess 5. I mean, I tried 5 again, and I just couldn't get into it. But my friend had told me that it reminded him somewhat of GTA. I'm like, I'm not really feeling that, but I would say it's much more kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Fallout, but it's more linear, less open world, and really good so far. I think I'm probably about 8 hours into it, but I just sat around and I played for a really long time yesterday and today. I hate Apple and LG phones. I'm only a fan of Samsung Galaxy. Well, I mean, that's one of the great things about there being so many phones. You know, if you don't like one, there's 10 other ones to take its place. I mean, for instance, like I've got iPhone, I've got Samsung, I've got LG, I've got everything under the sun. Google Pixel, Blackberry. Of course, on my channel, I cover mostly, well, I can't say I cover mostly Blackberry. I do enjoy Blackberry. Blackberries are my favorite, but and if you're a Blackberry fan, you probably know there hasn't been a new phone in like 2 years. And that's supposed to change this upcoming year in 2021 with the brand new Blackberry coming out. But yeah, I mean, if I were to cover Blackberry 24/7 and didn't cover other phones, then there would not be a lot to talk about, which is why I put out 1, maybe 2 Blackberry videos a week. King Sing, I am playing Cyberpunk on the PC. So for my gaming PC, which is what I'm also using to stream, I've got a second generation Ryzen 7, I've got 32 gigs of RAM, and I've got a RTX 2080 Super that I use to play games on. So I can play it in 4K no problem. And it looks great, runs like a champ. I have not had any problems with it so far, so that's good. I was very hesitant about getting it on the next gen console because like I've got the Xbox Series X and I also have the PlayStation 5, but I figured it would probably look and run better on my PC, so that's what I did. Psych Techie, is it true that they're stopping the Galaxy Note series? So I actually have made a video on this and I have not released it yet. I still want to do a little bit more investigative research. I felt like I was a little too assertive with the idea that it is going away whenever I did it. So here's the deal. When it comes to the Galaxy Note series, it has been confirmed that the new S series in 2021 is going to have S Pen support. It's also been confirmed, I believe, that the new Galaxy Fold, the third generation, will have S Pen support as well. So I believe there was some sort of a device lineup roadmap for like the next year, and it didn't have the Note beyond like 2021. It really wouldn't surprise me if they did get rid of the Note, because here's why. The Note has always been the larger, more productivity-oriented device, great for multitasking. And of course, it's their only phone that has the stylus. So the S Pen is what really kind of makes it the big thing. So if you've got an S series phone that has S Pen support, you don't really need a dedicated Note phone. But here's the other part of it, is the Fold is a bigger, badder, more awesome version of the Note. So if the Fold is going to have S Pen support and the S line is going to have S Pen support, I don't really see that it hurts the device lineup or people who want a Note device if it goes away in name. I mean, a lot of people have used the Note for a long time. I had the Note 4, the Note 5, the Note 7. Sorry, yeah, no, not the Note 7. The Note 8, the Note 9, the Note 10, the Note 20. Like I've had so many Note devices, but honestly, I don't even use the S Pen that much. I mean, I know some people do, so I don't want to discredit the Note because it's a very, very good phone. It's great with what it does with the S Pen. So. Yeah, do I think it's going to go away? Maybe. I'm going to say it wouldn't surprise me if it did. But maybe what my idea on it is maybe they might call, like, instead of making two distinct phones, maybe they'll have, like, okay, maybe the S21 and S21 Plus will have S Pen support, but they, like, you won't be able to put the S Pen in it. Or, sorry, let's say the 22. The one that's going to come out in 2022. Let's say maybe the regular S series phone has S Pen support, but it doesn't have a dedicated slot to put the S Pen in it. Maybe the Ultra version does. I mean, who knows? So I don't think that they would completely get rid of the idea of it, but as far as having a dedicated Note phone, maybe it might go away. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. King Sing, nice PC setup. Yeah, I got this computer and then changed some of the parts out on it over like the last year or so. I really want to upgrade the PC, the CPU on it. Like, I've got a second generation Ryzen 7, and I really want to get the third generation Ryzen 9 because my board will support it. And I've already got water cooling with the dual fan radiator on it, so it would be very easy for me to pop one out and put the other one back in. Let me see. Ephraim Cooper, do you think this onward mobility will go the same way as TCL? I don't. I think that this will be better. I think the technology is a little bit further along. Honestly, and I feel like TCL kind of cheaped out when they made the Key series devices. I don't feel like it really had the same level of quality and performance and expectations that most people would expect from BlackBerry, and I think that hurt. And I mean, it really turned me off. I used them because they were available. I don't think they're technically bad devices, but as far as being top of the line, build quality, quality assurance, like the screen, there's just a lot of things that I don't care for them. So I think that onward mobility will make a better quality of phone, especially partnering with FIH or Foxconn, same company. So I think it's going to be made better. I think people are going to have higher expectations for it because whenever they moved over to the BlackBerry mobile license, it was kind of like a logical progression because, you had the TCL was already making phones. Like they made the DTEC 50, they made the DTEC 60. So starting up BlackBerry mobile was just kind of like the next step, and like they wanted to try and keep the phones alive. But I felt like it was kind of a half-hearted measure. Like, okay, we're just going to keep making them, and people will, maybe buy them. But it really didn't, I think, have a good roadmap. Like BlackBerry 10 built off of enterprise and all the government, professional, and business sector phone placement. And I don't really think they had a plan for trying to permeate those work groups and those environments with the new phone. So, like, I think it was just kind of like, we're going to make these, we're going to sell them because, TCL, I guess, thought they could make money off of them. But like you said on there, you hope they take good care of the brand. I don't think that TCL did a good job taking care of the BlackBerry brand. I really don't. But, I mean, the phones are not bad, technically. So I think that there's a little bit more care and concern that Onward Mobility will have with this. And I think having learned some of the lessons from TCL with BlackBerry Mobile and also BlackBerry, of course, being willing to do this again, they know that if it sucks, then people are not going to want to buy it, and then they're just going to further erode their goodwill in the industry. So I think that they're taking this very seriously. I think that's one of the reasons why this is not haphazard, that we haven't heard anything new yet. I mean, it's just one of those things. I think that moving forward, I think Onward Mobility will do a better job with it. But here's the thing. I don't think we're going to get 3 or 4 or 5 devices out of it within 2 years. There's probably, if I had to guess, they're going to make this one and see how the market responds to it before we get confirmation or guarantee on another one. Because if it doesn't do well, like Onward Mobility is not TCL. TCL has money. They make TVs. They make phones. They can afford to make phones and not sell well, just like LG or just like Google. They don't have to be the number one selling phone in the world for them to stay in business. They have extra money they make elsewhere. Onward Mobility was, I believe, specifically created to be the entity to bring this phone back to market. So I think we'll get one. I think it's going to be much higher caliber. I think it's going to be made better. I think that it's going to live more up to the security ethos and also kind of a better balance. So we'll see how it goes, but I have higher expectations for Onward Mobility than what happened with BlackBerry Mobile. Let me see, Darren Anderson. Is it rude to use your phone during dinner? Well, I mean, you got to think about that question. I mean, if you're eating dinner by yourself, no, I don't think it's rude at all. I mean, if I'm eating dinner by myself, then yeah, I'm playing on my phone the whole time. If it's just me and my wife and we don't have anything to talk about, I mean, I don't mind if she's playing on her phone, or I don't mind if I'm playing on my phone. I don't let my kids bring their phones to the table because I think it's better for them to learn that dinner time or being around the table is for socialization. But, whenever it comes to that stuff, if you're not being attentive or paying attention or giving the other person, the respect to pay attention whenever they're talking to you, then yeah, I think it's disrespectful. If you're able to use your phone intermittently while you're eating and your significant other or your friend or whoever you're having dinner with doesn't mind, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's fairly common occurrence nowadays. But if you're ignoring the other person, it's like, why did you even go visit or eat with them in the first place? Like if I were to go out on a date nowadays and sit down with some girl to go eat dinner, and she was sitting there playing on her phone the other time and like taking pictures for Instagram and not paying attention to me talking, I would be offended. Likewise, if I did that, I would expect somebody else to be offended. So it's just one of those give or take things. You really need to gauge the situation. I mean, is it always rude? No. Can it be? Absolutely. I'm a Tula. I saw a TCL Kids tablet at Verizon. Yes. So I actually have the regular version of that tablet, and it's called the TCL Tab. There's a kids version, and it's actually a really good tablet. It's inside right now, but I made a video on it. So if you go check out my channel and check out the TCL Tab unboxing and review that I did, you're going to get a good feel for what that tablet is. I think that it's really solid. There's some more kid-friendly stuff on there. It comes with a kid's case, but I believe at the end of the day, I think it's the same tablet. So I think it's pretty solid. I was really surprised with the performance. King Sing, will I be getting the Sony Xperia? I would really like to, but I don't see that happening right now. Yeah, I've talked about this some before, but as of right now, I will be unemployed on January 1st, so I'm not making any big purchases right now, especially not like $1,000 phone that I've never covered before. So, I mean, if there's some way that I were to be able to make contact with them and get them to send me one, I would be very happy to cover it. I mean, I absolutely love the Sony Xperia devices, the One Mark II, the new Xperia 5 Mark II. They do some great things. So, yeah, I think that I would like to, but I'm not going to go buy one right now. And Ephraim Cooper, I see the stuff that you're putting out there. I don't really see that it's important to what I'm talking about because of tech here. I have no problem telling people religious beliefs. I consider myself a Christian, and I grew up in a Baptist church. But when it comes to political stuff, I consider myself independent. So I've voted for politicians on both sides of the aisle. So those are the two things that I will tell you. But I'm not here to talk about politics or religion. I respect people's beliefs and their political affiliations, no matter what they are. So I will answer that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. Amatula, yeah, it's a good tablet for kids. That's not a problem. I don't think it's too expensive. I think that the performance for the value that you get there is very good. And TCL's been doing some good things with phones and tablets recently. And it's especially nice if you have Verizon, because the thing with Verizon is, they've got a really good network, and they don't typically have a reputation for having like budget tier devices. So if you want something that works on Verizon, then yeah, I think that that's going to be cool, and that might be a good option for you. If you just want a Wi-Fi tablet, there are a lot of options out there for things that you can buy. And probably the biggest one that I advocate for right now is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. King Sing, what are my favorite OnePlus phones? So just honestly, I didn't even care about OnePlus for the longest time because I had security concerns over them, and I was still using Blackberry almost exclusively for like the first several OnePlus devices. But ever since they made their move into the US, which I think the OnePlus 6T was the first one to make it on T-Mobile, I got that one, and then I fell in love with them. They are some really impressive phones, and right now, actually right here, I'm fixing to do my follow-up, my full review on this one. I've done like my 1 week review. I did my unboxing and first impressions. I absolutely loved the OnePlus 8T. I really liked the OnePlus 8. I wanted to get my hands on the 8 Pro. The 8 Pro is like probably one of the best Android phones of the year. It just didn't work its way into my pocket or my lineup. So I really would have liked to test it out because the 8 Pro is where it's at in the camera department. The 8T, I think, has a slightly improved camera over the 8, but the reason I didn't keep the OnePlus 8 was because the camera just wasn't that impressive. So that's my thing. Like, it's okay. They've definitely improved night mode on the 8T. I did take some impressive and enjoyable night photos with it. Really I was impressed. So it does some good things. But yeah, OnePlus, solid devices. Do I ever feel the burden of having a lot of phones I'm using too? Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one of the things that it can be frustrating at times, and I don't vent these frustrations on Twitter or other places because I don't think that I'm in a very privileged position that I get to test out a lot of these phones. So if I were somebody who didn't have an opportunity to test out all these phones, and some guy that got sent phones all the time was like, oh my gosh, I have to set up another phone. That's the third time this week. And, I think that would turn some people off because I think that's insensitive. Because some people may have only one phone and they may want a nicer phone or they may want a more expensive phone. I don't really think they want to tune in to some guy who's testing out phones all the time and complaining about the privilege of having all these phones to test out. And especially whenever, this is what I wanted to do for years. However, it would probably be easier if I didn't review so many things. And I review a lot of stuff. And I was just looking at this yesterday or day before yesterday. I've made like 310 videos in the last year. which is absolutely ridiculous. That's a ton of videos for anybody, especially somebody working 40 hours and having a family. So, I made over 300 videos in the last year. I mean, there's 365 days in a year. So if I cut down on the amount of videos that I made and spent more emphasis just on phones, it would probably feel less burdensome because, honestly, I mean, I do 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I had 3 tablets and 2 phones show up in the same day. Most people would be ecstatic about having one. And I was talking to my wife and I was like, I have set up 8 devices or 10 devices in the last 8 days. I do get tired of going through the setup over and over and over, having to set up a tablet and then the next day having to set up another tablet and then the next day having to set up another phone. So there is, a tedious nature and a monotony to this sometimes, but that's just the name of the game. I mean, I love phones, I love tablets, I love all technology, so I like to be able to sit down and spend the time with them so that I can give them an objective, a once over, twice over, test them out, let people know what I think, because people come here and they want to know, look, is this any good? Is this the right one for me? Should I consider this? So as long as I'm able to spend the time to adequately test these things out for people and for myself just to see if they're any good, then that's fine. So if I ever catch myself feeling like I'm rushing something, then I do kind of maybe slow things down a little bit in some different departments, because at the end of the day, if I'm not making a quality video, if I'm not putting in 100% in testing something, then there's no point in me putting a video out. The video is not for views. The video is for authenticity and objectivity and to give people the information that they need. So it can be a tedious process, though. Amatula, yes, they want $8 a month. I'm going to get it for her. My oldest girl has a Tab S6 Lite. She uses it. Yeah, so the Tab S6 Lite is just a good tablet all the way around. $8 a month, I think, is very fair for that tablet, for the TCL Tab for the kids version. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with it. You'll probably enjoy it. Did I ever get the OnePlus 6? No, I didn't. The first one I ever got was the OnePlus 6T, but I like I said, I totally love the 6T. Such a great phone. I just recently got rid of it 2 months ago, and I gave it to my nephew. My nephew was using an iPhone 7, and he was playing Fortnite with my kids all the time. And then, of course, Epic Games, being the dummies they are, messed everything up. So then you can't play Fortnite on iPhones anymore. And then he couldn't play with my kids, and my kids missed playing with him. So I gave him the OnePlus 6T so that he could play on there. Holy crap, Ghost TV. I just got in. Do you know anything about Canon cameras? I don't really. Cameras are not my specialty. I'm trying to learn more about them. So I reviewed a Panasonic camcorder back in March. And that was the very first time I ever took a stab at reviewing anything camera related. Normally, I'm like a lot of you guys. I use a phone and I just press the shutter button and I know how to use a phone to take pictures with. But never up until this last year have I ever even had a manual camera to use for things. So I've been having to learn all about this stuff and making myself more familiar with it. So Canon, I don't have any experience with. I know the EOS and the Rebel and the T3. There's some good cameras there, but I don't have a preference or an inclination or any experience there to tell you what is better. I did just get a new camera in, and I'm actually a little irritated because I've got this Panasonic G100 right here. I got to send it back to Panasonic tomorrow, which is a little frustrating. Totally love this G100. Amazing camera. And normally, when companies reach out to you, they'll send you something and they tell you if you have to return it. Yeah, I had to return the $1,600 camcorder after I got done reviewing it. Told me that up front. No problem. Send me this camera, and I've had it for almost 2 months now. I did all my videos on it, and then out of nowhere, a week ago, they're like, oh, by the way, we're sending you a shipping label to return it. I'm like, I thought you were sending this to me to keep. And apparently not. So I'd already bought a lens for it. I bought this dummy battery kit, and I went and took the lens back today. So I'm not going to have this camera that I'm using anymore, which is frustrating. But I do have, I made a contact with Fujifilm, and they sent me this X-T4 to test out. So I have this for a month, which is crazy. The X-T4 is supposed to be a really good camera, and I've been taking some pictures with it, but I absolutely love this X-T4. It is a serious piece of hardware. and they sent me these 2 lenses to test out as well. So they sent me a really nice kit lens and also a good prime lens for bokeh. So I've got this I'm testing out, and Panasonic is actually sending me their S5 as well. So I'm really trying to get more into camera stuff. Don't worry, my channel is not turning into cameras, but just as part of a learning process for me, kind of like a growing thing for my channel, and also just kind of so I have an idea what's going on with camera stuff. I'm trying to dip my foot in that a little bit. So I'm really excited about that. My normal camera that I have is a Sony A7 II, and it's the very first like mirrorless camera I've ever bought and used before. There's a question up here. Will all the messaging apps right now, Adam? Is there room for BBM? So the messaging landscape has changed so much over the last couple of years. And the thing is that BlackBerry Messenger really was integral to the BlackBerry phone experience, although I actually kind of hated it. Like, it was nice, but it was really kind of a pain in the butt to use the QR codes and the pins, and there were so many barriers in place, especially being able to communicate with outside platforms. That had they adopted a multi-platform experience prior to when they did, it would probably still be one of the top messaging apps in the world. But since it was exclusive to BlackBerry and people wanted to move away from BlackBerry, well, they couldn't very well use BlackBerry Messenger on other platforms. So I think BlackBerry Messenger was like a year or two too late in becoming like widespread. And they really tried to use that as a tool to leverage people staying on BlackBerry, much like Apple does with iMessage. So you can still use it. I mean, if it works good for you, and as long as they maintain it and upkeep it, I think that it's fine. But there's just so many now, it's hard to be like, well, you should go use BlackBerry Messenger, especially since you have to pay for it now for the BBME. So, yeah, you can use it if you want. I mean, there's also WhatsApp and Viber, and there's just so many of them now. Let me see. I have a Samsung Galaxy, Darren Anderson, I have an A20 and a Samsung Galaxy Tab E. Those are not bad. It's good to hear super tech all around. Yeah, I spend a lot of money, not a lot of money, I spend a lot of time, well, I spend a lot of money too. I spend a lot of time on pretty much all things tech. And that's one of the things about my channel. I like to be able to cover everything. Like, if one day I want to cover a BlackBerry phone, the next day I want to cover an iPhone, the next day I want to cover a tablet, then I want to be able to do that. I don't like to limit myself to just one type of thing on my channel. I've always loved all things tech, so that's what my channel is. Will it keep me from growing as fast as if I just like hammered down and niched into like one type of video category? Yeah, sure. If I just made one type of video, then YouTube would push it a lot more. I would have a lot more people watching. Because, I know if I make a BlackBerry video that in 24 hours, I'll probably have 2,000 or 3,000 views, and that's great. But if I make an iPhone video, I may get 500 views in a week or 2 weeks. So, there are certain things like YouTube knows that people aren't going to watch it much, so they don't push it. And then if, subscribers don't care about it, if they subscribe to me for my BlackBerry content, then they're not going to be inclined to watch the Apple one. So you just never know. Have I done a review on the A71? No, I have not, but it's actually right here in my pocket. And I got to tell you, I have been absolutely enamored with this phone. I love the A71, and I got such a good deal on it. I ended up trading in my Pixel 3a XL. This phone MSRP'd for like $600, and I think after all was said and done, I think I got it for like $170, and I totally love it. It is such a good phone. It's Crema. If I hate myself, then use ONN Surf 11.6. I don't know what that is, so it's probably outside of my wheelhouse, but I'll take your word on it. Yes, Holy Crap Ghost TV. Yes, I do like to keep things interesting. Watch with Wayne. Hey, Jose, Juan. No one is spamming. Yeah, nobody's spamming. Brian's Vlogs. You're welcome. So I've been trying to answer all these questions here. Yeah, but I'm going to have my preliminary video come out on the A71 probably tomorrow or Tuesday. As soon as I get off here, I got to get to the recording studio because I've got, the recording studio, like right behind me. I got to get my video together because I've got to finish up my final review on the OnePlus 8T, which I absolutely love. And then I'm also very excited to get this video made about the A71. So there will be a video in the morning. The A71 will be tomorrow or Tuesday. I haven't decided yet. Darren Anderson, I'm using T-Mobile, and it works great for me in my area. I haven't had any problems with it, so I've been with them for a very long time. What carrier? The A71 is on all carriers. It's on Verizon, it's on Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T here in the U.S. I'm not sure where it is that you live, but it's available on all the major carriers in the U.S. Somebody asked earlier if I was a gamer. Yes, I do very much enjoy playing video games when I have time. Let me see. Have I played Borderlands? Yeah, I played Borderlands. I never really was a big fan of Borderlands. I played the first one and the second one. Those were supposed to be kind of like a third-person Diablo a first-person Diablo game where you're supposed to go around, get all the different stuff, but I never really got into Borderlands. So I think the best way I could probably describe Cyberpunk is it's very much, it reminds me of Fallout 3, because Fallout 3 is more linear than Fallout 4. So it reminds me of like Fallout 3 meets maybe a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. It is a little bit Grand Theft Auto-ishy, maybe like 30%, but more kind of like story-driven in Fallout. If you like Fallout 3, with a little bit more action involved and a more broad environment and not so narrow, then you'll probably really like it. Definitely rated R, though. The USA Treasury just got hacked. I don't know about that. I haven't seen that. What is my phone of the year? Yeah, I really had to sit around. I've been thinking about that lately because there have been so many good phones this year. And I was really, really worried coming into 2020 after, like January and February and March, because it really put a dent in the manufacturing world, especially for phones. So I'm not sure what my phone of the year is. There are contenders that I have, like the OnePlus 8T and like the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. Two phones that I very much consider phone of the year. But it depends on where you look. I mean, if you like phone of the year, best phone of the year, I mean, yeah, the Fold 2 is the most amazing phone of the year. The best budget phone, the Pixel 4a. There's a lot of different cameras. Not cameras. There's a lot of different phones that I like at different price points. And I think it's better to look at it that way. Like, if you want best phone under $400, I'm going to have to go with the Pixel 4a. If you want best phone from like $500 to $700, then yeah, we're talking Pixel 5. We're talking Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. So, look, just so you know, technically speaking, look, Google has done terrible this year with the Pixel phones, and we need to know what they can do to succeed in 2021, okay? Do you get the A71 5G? I didn't know if there was a difference between A71 and A71 5G. I thought that there was only the A71 5G. Is the A71 without 5G the one that's running the Exynos processor? Like the Exynos 980, I think? I'm not entirely sure on that, though. Have I played Cold War? Yes, I have Cold War. I got it on the Xbox. I actually have it on the PC as well, so I have it on both platforms. It's okay. I don't really like the multiplayer that much, but I absolutely love the Zombies. Zombies is very good. It's one of the best ones they've had in a while. I love Call of Duty Zombies. Why do I think that Google phone has good camera even with one lens? It all has to do with the software. And as far as I know, even the Pixel the Pixel 5, I believe, has the same camera as the Pixel 4 in it. It's all about how you use it. They got a good lens, they got a good, the good sensor and all that good stuff. So the computational photography that they do with the processor is really, really what brings out the best in it. It's like having a fine-tuned engine in your car. I mean, yeah, you can have people that have the same sensor, or people that have the same lens, people that have the same everything, but the software, how they implement it and how they exploit it is really what makes the difference. So Google's really good with that stuff. What are my thoughts on the Oculus 2? The Oculus 2, I think, is probably the breakthrough virtual reality headset that's gonna take VR to the next level. Like, I had the original Rift. I've tried the Vive or Vive, whatever you want to call it, with HTC. I've got a Windows mixed reality headset. The Quest 2 finally takes all the wires away. You don't have to have the PC anymore. It gives you a really good experience, about 3 hours of battery. I have one. I've got my full review coming on that as well. And it's at such a great price point. Like, it finally makes it where pretty much anybody who wants one can get it. And it works really well. And they finally have a decent library of games. And I think people are kind of finally on board with the idea that it's not going away and it's not a gimmick. So it's very good. Why can't Samsung stop making screens with edge corners on the screen? Samsung can't quit doing a lot of things. So I like the curved edge displays. Like, they very much make me feel like it's a Samsung phone. But when I do have a phone that doesn't have curved edges, I appreciate like the nice complete flat display without the accidental touches on the sides. But ergonomically and like design wise, I like the way that they look. Yes, Oculus did get bought by Facebook. Do you feel the spacebar button of BlackBerry Key 2 is so responsive? I think it's responsive enough. I feel like the spacebar on the Key 1 and the Key 2 LE is better. The Key 2 one always felt a little on the loose side to me. Like, I just don't really care for it that much. It just didn't feel firm or responsive enough for me as far as tactility went. But it's kind of a shame, too, because that is the most powerful of the BlackBerry mobile devices. So it's the best BlackBerry you can get right now. And I know some people have had problems with the keyboard, with the spacebar keys over time. Fortunately, I have not, but it is something with a question mark or an asterisk next to it. The Samsung Edge phones. I miss the Samsung Edge phones. I actually had the Galaxy Note Edge like a long time ago, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I wish they would have made another one. I've thought about picking another one up today, like in today's day, and taking a look at it because it was such a cool phone. And it came out at the same time, I believe, the Note 4 came out. And I had one with Sprint back then, but I ended up having to leave Sprint to go back to T-Mobile because Sprint service just was not very good where I was living. So I had a very short-lived experience with it, but I absolutely loved it. Hamazan, since you have a legal background, why didn't you enroll in Marshall Court or Marital Court? Maybe you can elaborate on that. Let me see. Yeah, Facebook did buy Oculus in 2018, yes. Button placement is for sure different on the A71. I got my wife the wrong case. Oops. Yeah, maybe there is an A71. And, I saw the A71 and the A51 when I was at CES back in January. And there was an A90, I believe, that was 5G, but they didn't have a 5G version of the A71 back then, so that makes sense. James Herrera, CCTX, what's going on? Man, H-Town weather is crazy right now. It has been like 25-mile-an-hour wind all day, and raining all day, and it's getting colder by the minute. I actually put a fire in the fireplace. I like the curves on the Moto Edge. Yeah, the Moto Edge is a good phone. Josh Leibowitz, agree, Spacebar was better. Yeah, Spacebar was better on the Key 1, and the Key 2 LE I loved. I missed the LG Flex phones. Man, I absolutely loved the G Flex phones. Like, the first LG G Flex, I went and I got it on T-Mobile. Absolutely loved it. And then I got the G Flex 2 when I had switched to Sprint. And I gotta tell you, the G Flex 2 was a very good phone. I liked that it had the self-healing back. I liked the screen. I thought it was an improvement. It was lighter and thinner. But the problem was the processor. And if I remember correctly, it might have been the same processor that was in the Priv. I think it was the Snapdragon 808. That 808, 810, 86, something like that. It was one of the very first generation 8 series Snapdragons. And the problem back then, it just got too hot. Like, the G Flex 2 would overheat all the time. It would feel like a small sun in your hand, very much like the BlackBerry Priv. It had issues. And that's actually one of the reasons, if you look back, the Samsung Galaxy S6 is the only mainstream Samsung Galaxy S phone in the US that's had an Exynos processor instead of a Snapdragon. They punted that year because it had unreliability and heat issues, and BlackBerry and LG went ahead and used those chips anyway, which we saw the problems that those had. But Samsung dodged the bullet with that. So That's why the Samsung Galaxy S6 has an Exynos processor in it. Brian's Vlogs. Yeah, I did tweet about the A71, and I have been loving this phone. The only thing I feel holds it up, see, it's got a Snapdragon 765. I have used 3 other phones with the Snapdragon 765. The TCL 10 5G UW has the Snapdragon 765G. I've used it in the Pixel 5. I've used it in the Velvet, and now using it in the A71 5G. The problem that I have, it still has power, but it hiccups every once in a while just because the Samsung Galaxy One UI is just too resource intensive. Especially on the Pixel and the TCL phones have no skin. I mean, they're basically bare bones stock Android. Samsung puts a lot on top of it. So since they put a lot on top of it, it does, I feel, slow it down a little bit. But the Snapdragon 765 is still very good. Once you get inside apps, it's no problem. It's just sometimes in the details of launching the camera app or switching back and forth between some tasks, you will feel it. But it's not because of the power. It's because of the user interface that Samsung has. It's One UI. I'm watching on Moto Edge. Great phone. No third-party app support. Yeah, it's a good phone, though. Quartz Marshall. Hamazon. So, I haven't messed with that just because when I got out of the military, I didn't want anything to do with it anymore. But I do still help vets. So when I was in law school, I did specialize a lot in tax stuff, also in contracts, but I also took a clinic to help out with, it was a VA clinic, Veterans Affairs. So I learned about helping people with DD-214s and upgrades and trying to help them with their VA benefits and stuff like that. So I still have helped out vets in the past, but as far as being actively involved with course martial processes, I don't want anything to do with that. What I think of the iPhone 12, I have the Note 20 Ultra, was thinking of going back to Apple. The Note 20 Ultra, I think, is a better, more exciting phone than the iPhone 12. Currently, I have the iPhone 12, 12 Pro Max, and 12 Mini. I'm going to take the 12 Mini back. I got it, and I can't do it. I thought I was going to like it more. It's just too small. And I didn't think that I was going to like the 12 Pro Max. I had the 10s Max, the 11 Pro Max, and I just thought they were too big. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just gotten used to using larger phones all the time. I absolutely love the 12 Pro Max. So I'm going to take back the 12 Mini. I'm going to sell the iPhone 12. I have my Note 20 Ultra. I think it's a fantastic phone. It's probably the most complete, best Samsung phone, especially Note, they've ever made. Cameras are phenomenal. The directional audio is amazing. The screen is beautiful. Unless you just want to get back in the Apple ecosphere, I would not get rid of the Note 20 Ultra and go to an iPhone 12. But that's just me personally. Big John Tech, hey, thanks for stopping by tonight. What are the last Sony Xperia devices you had or covered? I have never covered a Sony device on my channel. I like them, but the problem is they always want too much money for them. I could never get them through carriers, and I've not established a relationship with them to where they'll send me one to review. So that's just why I've never covered them. One day I hope to, though. Yeah, Snapdragon has come a very long way. A51 5G, also a solid phone. Samsung One UI was released in late 2018. Yes, Samsung One UI, very, very good. I believe One UI started with the Galaxy S8, and then I think, if I remember correctly, but it was a huge upgrade over TouchWiz. Can we all just agree the Passport needs to come back? I would absolutely love to see a new Passport with upgraded specs. I don't think they could go wrong with that. People would love that. I read somewhere Snapdragon 888. Hey, if we could get a Snapdragon 888, I would be the first one in line 3 months in advance to try and get one of those the day they come out. I would be ecstatic about that. What size is the iPhone mini screen, Ed? It is 5.4 inches. Effectively, it's the same size as the iPhone SE 2020. It just doesn't have the Touch ID button there, so you get the full edge-to-edge screen. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's just such a small phone. I've got it right here. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It's like a It's a little baby phone. And that's fine. I mean, some people like it. I mean, I put my video out the other day and I said the iPhone 12 mini is not for me, but you may like it. It's just so small. I mean, if you put this next to the A71 5G, I mean, look at that. It's so small. Like I appreciate smaller form factors. I realize they're there for people who want them, but it's just not for me. James Herrera. Oh, yeah, very welcome for the information. Emilio Adeza, do I like notches on phones or floating camera? I do not like notches at all. I absolutely hate the teardrop style ones. I'm not a big fan of Face ID. I much prefer the hole punch, the punch out, the window, the cutout, whatever you want to call it, the little hole. How does the size compare to the Key 2? Well, Arthur, the screen size on the Key 2 is 4.5 inches, and the screen on the iPhone 12 mini is 5.4, and the screen size on the iPhone SE 2020 is 4.7. Psych Tech, I saw is it Psych or Psyche? Is it Psyche Techie? Just so I'm pronouncing this right. But I saw the 12 mini and it is a really small phone. Yeah, it's really hard to go back to a phone that size. Once you're used to using like a 6.6, 6.5, 6.7, 6.8 inch screen, it's really difficult to go back to a 5.4 inch screen. Black Box Mobile, wish Blackberry made a Prib 2. Full screen and slide out keyboard. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I don't foresee that being their first phone. But if they're successful with the first phone, I mean, I could possibly see them trying to come back and capitalize on that, because they've made slider phones before that were very good hardware-wise and have held up over the years. And hey, Ryan, thanks for stopping by. Psyche Techie. Okay, cool. Interesting, you're the opposite. Yeah, some people like the teardrop notches and the cutouts. I like the hole punch, but I prefer it to be off to the side or right in the center. I don't like them on the right side like they did with the S10 and the S10 Plus. I think most people learn their lessons, of course, made them smaller. But I do think that on the like the A71, for instance, it's a very small punch out right up in the top. Like that works for me, or in the top left corner. Either one works. Never had any issue consuming full screen content on Key series. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think that the 4.5 inch screen is perfectly fine with the full size keyboard. It doesn't bother me. The only issue is it just feels a little top heavy on the Key 2 and the Key 1 and the Key 2 LE. It's just because the screen is so long. Like I would prefer maybe like a 4-inch screen, but a little bit wider, which I think would be better for multitasking and not as top heavy. And that's why, like, I advocate more for like a classic style device. Like, I would like for them to bring the tool belt back, have like a 4-inch screen, a little bit wider, kind of like the Passport, like a blend between the Classic and the Passport. I definitely want a 4-row keyboard. I'm not a big fan of the 3-row keyboard at all. And here, I've got mine right here. So on the 3-row keyboard, all you have is the letters. There's no symbols on here. With the 4-row keyboard, you get the Alt key, and you can be like, use the Alt key for all your symbols and stuff. And I think it makes it for a much more effective typing experience. It's very like off-putting to be typing along and then to have to use the software keyboard button up here and then go back to pressing the keys. You're going back and forth from like having to press down on a button to touching on a screen, and I just never could get into it. I didn't like it. Emilio, thanks for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it. And we've got 48 people here in the chat right now. We have 16 likes. So if y'all are here and you're enjoying yourself and having a good time, please hit the like button. So it helps out with the metrics on the video and people being able to see it later. And also, I appreciate the support. Spending your time talking with you guys. That's what I like to come here and do on the weekend. It's not really so much a platform for me to talk about stuff that I have going on, more so as it is an opportunity to talk to you guys and answer your questions and all that stuff. I look like someone who's encountered a grizzly bear while going picnicking, have I? No. The closest I've ever gotten to a grizzly bear is at the zoo. I did once encounter a moose when I was running, out in Alaska. I went to Alaska for a month, and I happened upon a moose. Thankfully, it didn't chase me, but it was very unnerving. Blackberry I used was a 9900. Yeah, that was a very good phone. Scott Viper, hello. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Wow, it's been almost an hour already. It goes by so fast. And this will be the last stream where I'm using this Panasonic Lumix. I'm going to try and hook up this new Fujifilm camera for the next live stream that I do. We'll see how that goes. But probably about to call it night here in a few minutes because I'm almost to the hour mark. But if there's any last questions or anything you want to talk about before I get ready to hit the road, because it's already 8:30 here and I got to start recording so I can get my video ready for tomorrow. And, of course, get ready for work tomorrow because tomorrow's Monday. So hopefully y'all have plenty of coffee. I picked up some more while I was doing my grocery shopping this evening. But coffee is good for you. I'm also drinking bottled water because of people at the grocery store. I was drinking this sparkling water that had like fruit juice in it. And it was really good and they got rid of it. King Singh, which BlackBerry 10 OS devices are still usable for calling other than the Passport or the Classic? That's a very difficult question, and it depends on the network. So like T-Mobile, for sure I know the Z10 and the Q10 devices are not going to work starting in January because they're shutting off like the 2G and the 3G, and I believe just the regular 4G network. I believe it's going to be all 4G LTE and 5G. But like Verizon, I think is going to be later. And then also with AT&T, they're going to keep theirs going for like another year. So you can still pretty much use any BlackBerry 10 device on AT&T for at least another year. Is there a possibility that Onboard Mobility will give long-term support for new BlackBerries? I hope so. I think that there has to be at least a 2-year software commitment whenever the new phones come out. I think they would be very remiss for them not to at least offer 2 years. Psyche Techie, thank you for today. I follow you on Twitter. Well, thank you very much for all you who follow me on Twitter. And also, if you're in the U.S., I just did put out a giveaway like 2 days ago for a blue G90 Pro. I have some more stuff that I'm going to be doing giveaways for. I'm waiting for it to show up. I have, I believe, a pair of Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros coming. Liberty Air 2s or Liberty 2 Pros, I can't remember. And I have 5 pairs of Soundcore Live Q30s, which are absolutely phenomenal. So I've got more headphones coming. I've got another phone or two that I'm going to do a giveaway with. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. But it is a lot to try and put these giveaways together, especially working with other companies. Let me see. Let me see here. Black Box Mobile. How do I do it? Videos, family, work. It's a lot. So I work from like 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning till about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And I have my family here all the time. And they're all doing school from home. And so usually I have to take a break and cook lunch. I cook dinner before my wife gets home from work. And then after that, I usually sit down from like 8 till about midnight or 9 till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I usually spend about 4 hours a night like recording videos, editing, making thumbnails and stuff like that. So I probably put in at least 25, 30 hours a week on top of my 40-hour work week job doing video stuff. So it is a lot. But it's been very fortunate for me because I've mentioned before that my contract with my job is expiring on January 1st, so I'll be doing YouTube full time. And had I not put in the work to do 300 videos in the last year, and had I not put in the work and gotten better at making thumbnails and put in the work to get better at tagging and descriptions and making better quality content, my channel wouldn't be to the point it is now to where it's actually something that will help support me to where I can do this full time in conjunction with my military retirement and my wife working and not just being like, holy cow, I don't have a job anymore. So it'll be nice actually having an extra 40 extra free hours a week to dedicate to doing like more time, like more stuff. So more live stream opportunities, more time to dedicate to making videos. It's not taking from my personal time when I'd rather be spending time with my family or playing video games. So I'm actually really excited about it. Let me see. Awesome Possum. Does the BlackBerry Priority Medium list mean anything? I was really surprised. Like I think that was you or somebody. I can't remember who said that. And I said, yep, I got added to the list. Let's see if it means anything. The Melody lady that commented is actually like, I believe, the head PR or vice president or something. She's actually up there with Onward Mobility and commented on it. Was like, oh, I'm the one that asked to have you put on there personally. And it does mean something. So I was just being facetious saying hopefully it means something. I didn't mean it in an offensive way or like as a it didn't mean anything way, because I think that it does. I've just never been on a priority media list before. But my hope is that that means that as information comes out, then I get it as quickly as any other outlet does and can put it out to you guys. I mean, they apparently watch my videos. So, I mean, I know they had watched some of my videos in the past, but it was very surprising to see somebody from high up at Onward Mobility commenting on my video. So, yeah. We'll see. I think it does mean something, though. Matthew Davis, I want to use your affiliate link for the Lenovo M10 HD Plus, but Amazon review says the Alexa docking station is awful. Let me see here if I can get you a better affiliate code. I was trying to find that one when I put that link, and I think I just put the wrong link there, but let me see if I can get you a better affiliate link to click on. So I just hit my stand there. I'm trying to find the right one. There's so many of them. And honestly, you may be better off buying it from Best Buy. I don't think that I found one with a good price. I think they're still kind of overpriced on Amazon. I think that's why let me look at this one. Nope. Because there's different models, and I could not find a good model. So I do appreciate you wanting to do that so that I get the money for it, but it would be better for me, I think, for you to get the best deal. So let me look on Best Buy again real quick and see if it's still there. M10 FHD Plus. It was $169 there the other day. It's back up to $199 now. So make sure this is the right one. 64 gigabytes, 4 gigs of RAM. Should have the docking station 2-in-1. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Don't worry about the affiliate link. Like, I really appreciate you doing that, but this is, I think, a better deal than the one on Amazon, unless you can find a better one on Amazon right now. Let me wrap this up real quick. King Sing, BlackBerry Porsche P992. Are they usable with carriers anymore? Yes, they are. Depends on the carrier, though. Like, I've still been using mine with T-Mobile, but it does only get 4G. It doesn't get LTE. I didn't have any problems with like phone calls and text messages and stuff, but the internet is just terrible on them because the browser sucks. Psyche Techie, last question, channel membership. So I do have channel memberships set up, and I got those set up over a month ago. I think I have 2 people that have been members on there for like a month, and I'm supposed to do a members only live stream, and I really need to do that. But it's like 4 people. And I feel bad because I do need to do that because that's part of one of the membership things. So I do have like a $1.99 membership. I think I have a $4.99 membership and then like a $9.99 membership. I should probably adjust the prices though. I set it up. Of course, I don't think I have anyone that's higher than the $1.99 membership, but yeah, so if you do the $4.99 one, then you'll get to have access to videos before they come out. I'll have them like sometimes a day or 2 already staged before they come out. So some of them will get set for people being able to watch them before they actually come out for other people to see. So I thought, that might be an interesting perk for that. Also, you get access for like the members only live stream once a month. Also getting to use like the special little icons for the chats and things like that. And then I have it set up for like the $9.91 where have like video gaming events with members. Of course, I don't have any of those members, so I haven't tried that yet. But the goal is to have like different nights throughout the month to be able to play things like maybe Call of Duty or play Fall Guys or play Among Us or different things like that. So there we go. Hey Edgar, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm fixing to get ready to hop off, but I appreciate you making the stop to come by tonight. King Sing, no, I'm not using it for calls right now. because I am testing out other phones, and I only have so many SIM cards, and I can only use so many phones at once. The P9983 I got as a collector's phone, more so than they use it for a daily driver, but I did use it for a week or two when I first got it, and absolutely love that phone, but right now, no, I'm not using it. It's right back here on the table. And James Herrera, thanks for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it. And I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. But I do appreciate everybody who came by and stopped by tonight. Please hit the like button before you head out the door. We've got 46 viewers here, and we have 24 likes. So we probably get that up like 20 more if everybody hits the like button before you run off. And if you enjoyed the show tonight, then please hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications when new videos come out, and support the channel that way. Yes, I did shave my beard. It's funny that you noticed that. It took my wife like 8 hours today to notice because she was so busy doing other things and stealing my tripod to make her own videos, because she has her Tesla channel on YouTube now. But yes, I did. I cut like half of my beard off today. So thanks a lot. But y'all have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, stay dry, stay warm. Y'all have a wonderful Monday and your week tomorrow, because tomorrow starts the last full week before we get into the holidays. So, yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Yep. It's definitely noticeable. I took quite a big chunk off of the beard. But yes, thank y'all so much for being here. It's always great to be able to come and hang out with you guys. So thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to come hang out and chat and all that other good stuff. So wishing you all the best. Have a wonderful and safe rest of your night, and good luck tomorrow with the work week. Drink lots of coffee, and y'all stay safe. So see you guys later.